Good morning. Good morning. It's time to start.
Good morning, everyone. Don't forget your happy, silly self. Last we saw our happy, silly self, he was busily tied to the bubblegum railroad tracks in front of the LSD train, waiting for its arrival.
That's a strong opening, my friend. All right. How's it going?
Not bad. Pretty good.
That's good.
How about you? How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yay.
I am well.
Sounds like a Will Smith movie.
I am well. Yeah, didn't he have an I am something? Well, he's done well.
Yeah, very much so. Except for Wild Wild West.
Yeah, which wasn't as
Doesn't
bad
hold up
as,
very well.
no, it wasn't as bad as everyone made it out to be, but it was um, not like Men in Black, that's for sure.
Well, it could have been so much more believable if the scale of the wooden pulley constructed robots was a little bit smaller. The whole like 80 feet tall, like spiders. It's like it was just too much. Like we could have believed a lot of stuff that was pulleys and woods and rope and all that, but at 80 feet tall, it's like no, sorry.
Yeah, that's interesting. Um, Thinking of like movies that have been made after television shows, and Adam's Family worked really well. And I think they stayed true to the TV show, whereas Wild West and Lone Ranger, two big bombs, and they just went into this realm that wasn't ever a part of the TV show. It's like they kind of, yeah, grabbed the titles and character and then made their own thing.
Yeah, there was a huge missed opportunity with the Lone Ranger because people are so much hipper to what indigenous culture was like and what indigenous experience was like in that period. And they could have created this really incredibly rich relationship between the two characters. And they actually kind of tried in that movie.
Yeah,
And I blame Johnny Depp a little bit, right? But mostly it was that they had to deliver this blockbuster film called The Lone Ranger. And if they just used a different title and told the same story, people would have gotten, but they would have gotten this whole other experience, which is here's this guy who is basically left out of the Texas Rangers because of his heart, his level of commitment to his moral structure.
right.
And then he's saved by this shamanistic indigenous person out in the desert, and that is such a rich possible story. I would love to see him try again, but this time with more of an indie feel to it. And we don't know maybe till the last act that he's actually the Lone Ranger. It's just the story of this Texan and this indigenous person that meet in these circumstances.
Yeah, I just watched Outlaw Josie Wells again this
Mm.
weekend because it's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a brilliant plot to have the hero be from the South during the Civil War. But really, he was a farmer. And then his family's butchered by these Northern Red Boots. And there's this great scene with where he goes to meet the chief of the Comanches, and they speak very equally. And part of Clint's thing, because the Comanches have come to slaughter this family out at this ranch, and Josie Wales goes and meets him and says, I'm here for death or life, either one. I'm okay with both, and I know you are too. We're men of our word. We've seen a lot of shit. We're okay with either one. So whichever one you choose, I'm good with. And And what I loved is the Comanche's chief response, like, I feel the strength of your statement about death, and therefore I trust your statement about life.
You know, that's one of my father's favorite films, and it's been a long time since I've seen it, and I'm inspired to watch it again.
It is really good. We're about to get interrupted because someone, hold on, can you just turn it off?
Hi, Candy.
Who's that? Who's that?
It's Mark.
Who?
Uncle Markenstein.
Mark. Hi, Mark. You sweetie pie.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, sweetie.
How did you know she was coming?
I could hear her coming up the stairs.
Got it.
Greg. Um,
Anyway, one of the amazing things about Clint Eastwood's work as a director and a writer is his willingness to go against the kind of preconceived notions we have about certain identified characters. So he's a Southerner who understands, you know, indigenous concepts at a rudimentary level. And then in what's the one where he plays the old, well, that's all of them, old curmudgeon. Anyway, he
there's
gets the
Gran
car.
Torino.
Gran Torino, right? So he plays this very unsympathetic character in a certain sort of way. But at the end of the day, we recognize that there's some metal, mettle, that this character has as it relates to human beings. Like there's this kind of moral code.
Right.
And what I love about that is it supports a thing that is really present for me in my heart, which is this idea that we identify with people's labels so much that we miss out on so much of the richness that's possible in human relations, simply because we can't get beyond our own projections of what we think it means about someone to have this or that kind of label identification with them.
Yeah, I agree 110%. In fact, I think it's a thing I even challenge about myself, where if I'm angry, to consider myself an angry person instead of thinking of it as a flavor. Like that's that moment. That's not the whole picture. And it's even, I just heard in an interview with a gentleman who was talking about his experience with Donald Trump when he was president, and how this gentleman who was in prison for 30 years for something that either he didn't do or it was a minor thing like marijuana, something, you know. Anyway, because he jumped through the red hoops of the president of the time, and there were some that he had to jump through that he didn't like, but this gentleman was freed. He was pardoned. He got a presidential pardon and was freed. And part of what he was saying is like that was bigger than his own personal thing. And like how even this person, President Donald Trump, who he just didn't really agree with at all, but he could work with, and here's this positive thing that comes up. It's even kind of like what just happened in Israel with what's his name being ousted. I'm kind of like, wow, that's seems like a healthy step in what little I know about the situation there.
Well, yeah. What Greg's referring to is the 59-60 vote in the Israeli parliament to no longer have Benjamin Netanyahu as the prime minister.
Right.
That's quite the slim margin there.
It is slim, but I think it was unheard of in the past. Like I just did not picture that being plausible.
Yeah.
I hope it's a sign of change to the whole thing, but boy, that's a deep, deep hole to come up out of.
Well, sometimes change begins with the first step. It begins with a small little, thing. And with regards to the former president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, there were so many opportunities for us to grow beyond our presumptions of him. And there were so many opportunities for us to have all of our disdain and dissatisfaction with him sustained. So it was really odd sort of thing, because when you look back, he one of the things that was the most important thing to me at the time, the very beginning in 2017, was the stopping of the Trans-Pacific Partnership. And he did that immediately. And I was like, ideologically, I was totally messed up because I could no longer stand in the ground of, I hate this guy, he can't do anything right, right? It was like he just cut right through some really important red tape and said, yeah, we're not doing this,
Yeah.
which was fantastic to me. It was like, and it was very uncomfortable having conversations with people at the time about going, yeah, that was a really brilliant thing he did. And what is it with this like, it's the opposite of cancel culture. We like, so everyone has to be so perfect to be worthy of our admiration, that if they slip up in just the slightest way, it's cancel culture for them. It's like out, right? And I'm not saying DJT did not deserve what happened in terms of the ridicule and the you know, in some ways, yeah, humanistically he probably didn't deserve it, but it's instant karma, yada yada yada. Oh, is that Yiddish? And is my use of it offensive? I hope so.
Oh, shut up, man. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. If you're going to backtrack every other word.
You were so quick to react, you missed my joke, but I think you finally get it.
Um, I think, yeah, I think there's a human propensity to want simple answers and very, defined evil, good. And we forget that there's a human who grew up in an environment and influences, and that there's a human being there.
Well, and that's what we want. That's the whole idea behind this democratic republic thing.
I missed your joke. That was a joke, the yada yada yada.
Yeah, you can listen to it on playback.
And second guessing yourself. You did it so well. I thought you were serious.
My form of humor is very subtle.
Is that how you pronounce that word? Subtle? I thought the B was silent.
Well,
Subtle.
that's just another example of how subtle my humor is.
Sure is.
It's almost imperceptible.
Which then makes me question, is it funny?
Hey, there's no question in my mind.
Good. That's as it should be.
That's why I don't write comedy for a living.
Nah, maybe you should.
Yeah, maybe I should. Do you know that yesterday you were watching the Friends reunion on HBO Max?
I wondered who it was. It was so funny. I thought it was Robin. Because twice I logged in. I started watching more of Warrior. And like, oh, wait, Friends? I didn't what did I? No, I didn't. And then I was like going back, and then it was still there in front. So I knew someone was watching it right now.
It's still open in my desktop, I think.
That's so funny. So you liked it, huh?
Oh God, I was telling my girlfriend Kathy, like, I didn't watch it every week or whatever, but I watched it more than Seinfeld. And what I know
More than
now is Seinfeld is
Seinfeld?
much funnier than they are. But I couldn't help but be super curious about what that show was like. And I've only gotten through, I think, the first 25 minutes of it, and there have been some neat things in it already. And I love the warmth with which they greeted each other. And the best thing, the surprise thing, was the way that the principal producers and writers are being interviewed at various times about what they went through to make the show.
Hmm.
And that kind of insight really fascinates me because, I love production and I love understanding how the chemistry of certain things got together.
Yeah.
What I'm wondering is if it was on Bravo, Andy Cohen would be asking them about how long they were in rehab. And I sort of figure all of those questions are off the table in this HBO special. It's all like a happy fest. But
Yeah.
I'm curious, I'm a little bit more curious about, the trials and tribulations of, you know, being multimillionaire social icons is not an easy thing. We like to think it's easy. We like to say, well, he's pretty or she's pretty and she's got money. And so life is perfect for them. And,
I don't know. I think I'd like to give it a shot, find out how difficult it really is.
you're going to get your shot.
Okay, that's mighty kind of you.
Well, it's not up to me, but I just know that it's coming.
So is peace in the Middle East.
Yeah, it's
I just
peaceful
may
there
not
right
be
now.
alive for it. I'll be like Vincent van Gogh. God, just think, Greg was practically homeless all his life, and now this content is worth millions.
Well, the Course in Miracles thing today was I am peace,
All right.
right? So ultimately, peace is.
Yeah.
So I have faith that for some time within the next 24 hours, there will be a moment where there's peace in the Middle East. It might not last very long. Everyone might be in bed. However it works, it's fine with me. We just want to stretch those little occurrences into larger and larger ones.
Yeah. One of the things from Course that I really like is the statement, if I was to not be afraid of love at all, the world would transform in this moment, which to me points that there's still work for me to do. Because like as soon as that, I have no fear of love, the world is transformed.
I haven't gotten to that part yet, but I don't feel any charge around it. It feels like it just goes right in and lands perfectly for me.
Good.
Maybe it's because I view love like pasta.
Edible with a nice sauce. Ooh, that's kind of gross. Do you swallow or spit?
When it comes to pasta, I swallow.
You hold your breath?
I must, because otherwise I'd go down into my lungs. Pasta, spaghetti in the lungs does not sound fun.
Sounds like a analogy of pubic hair.
The other day, I found this very short hair on the tip of my tongue, and I was like, "Wait a minute."
In my sleep is something going on.
And then I realized, oh, I have a mustache.
Uh,
I really need to moisturize my mustache more. Hairs are falling out.
that's what you can tell Kathy. Kathy, I'm just doing this for health benefits. Okay. Let's not get caught up in a lot of chaos. All right. If there's something that feels good to you, great. But this is really for health. Okay.
Okay. It is. It's really important for your full endocrine system.
That's what I hear.
I wouldn't know.
Why, you don't have an endocrine system?
I don't know.
I don't have an endocrine system.
It's kind of the end of my endocrine system. Oh God.
I
Yeah,
I
that was
refer
bad.
to myself as an endocrine. Okay. That's how I want you to refer to me, endocrine. I'm not a he or a she or an us or a they. I'm an endocrine.
And every year on December 23rd, we're going to celebrate Endocrinmas.
That reminds me, did you ever, oh, dang it. It's something in the Coconuts. And he was a nightclub act, really popular in LA. And one of his big hits was Endocrine. not endocrine, and endicott. Endicott, endicott. It's really good. And
No,
it's like,
I have no recollection of this.
oh my God, something, what Kid Creole and the Coconuts.
Wow.
Yeah. And check out Endicott. It's super cool, super danceable vibe. And Endicott
Should I
is,
be pulling this up now for our audience?
yeah, maybe we should.
All right, let's see
Because
if I can find it.
Endicott's like this perfect dude who's, does everything right. And the sinner's like, I'll never be like Endicott. All right, here we go.
We're gonna find it
Kid
here.
Creole and the Coconuts. Oh, look
Kid
at that. Kid, like
Creole.
Creole and the Coconuts, Endicott.
There it is. Oh no, wait.
How come I don't see it?
Oh,
I see a course you're taking. Aha, you're taking a course on Aha. Do you have
okay, let me
to
do this.
do you have to sing that song? There it is.
All right,
Endicott.
ladies and gentlemen.
Endicott. Yeah.
Endicot's up by 5 o'clock. Endicot's giving it all he got. Endicott's job is 6 to 9. Endicott's home by 9:05. Endicott helps to cook the steak. Endicott helps to wash the plates. Endicott puts the kids to bed. Endicott reads a book to them.
Why can't you be like Endicott?
Endicott loves Tribina so. Endicott put her on a pedestal. Endicott's wish is her command, but Endicott don't make no demands. Endicott's always back in time. Endicott's not the cheating kind. Endicott's full of compliment. Endicott's such a gentleman.
Why can't you be like Endicott?
'Cause I'm free. Free of any major order liabilities. Thank God I'm free. 'Cause it's hard enough for me to take care of me. Oh. Endicott's carrying a heavy load. Endicott never really ever moans. Endicott's not a wealthy guy, but Endicott pays the bills on time. Endicott's got ideas and plans. Endicott's what you call a real man. Endicott always will provide. Endicott is the family tie.
Why can't you be like Endicott?
'Cause I'm free. Freer than a pirate on a freaking out at sea. Thank God I'm free. Drifting all around just like a tumbleweed. Oh. Maybe I need me someone who isn't undone. Maybe an older woman tolerate me. Maybe that certain someone, older and wiser woman. Maybe the perfect someone satisfy me. For sure. Endicott keeps his body clean. Endicott don't use nicotine. Endicott don't drink alcohol. Endicott use no drug at all. Endicott don't eat any sweet. Endicott don't eat piggy feet. Endicott's frame is mighty strong. Endicott make love hard and long.
Why can't you be like Endicott?
Endicott love Tribina so. Endicott walks her to the stove. Endicott likes to hold her hand. Endicott's proud to be her man. Endicott stands for decency. Endicott means formality. Endicott's the epitome. Endicott stands for quality. Endicott. 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 I'll never be like Endicott. Said in my heart, I'll never be like Endicott. No Endicott in me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a visual feast for everyone out there. Go look it up.
Yeah,
It's like a
funny.
living cartoon. And I love the character he's describing, this perfect husband type that, you know, all of these things. And for those of you who couldn't see the video, of course, there's all these women looking over the fence in his suburban home, swooning at his perfection. But this brings to mind a book called No More Mr. Nice Guy. And in it, it really talks about how when we try to be perfect, when we try to be all of the things that we think are expected of us, we become so void of any depth and personality of ourselves that the person we're in relationship with feels like they're in relationship with a mirror. And unless you're with a narcissist, that's not going to work very well. And if you are with a narcissist, it's not going to work very well. So it's interesting because it's a lovely thing to aspire to. All of those things that he said in the video about how, you know, he worships her, he cares for her, he cooks, he cleans, he does his work, all those things are actually really great things. But if they come at the expense of your root level character, who you are, and in the song, the singer says, "Because I'm free,"
Yeah,
which implies that Endicott isn't free.
right.
But I don't agree with that. I think that the possibility is that you can be freely Endicott and not necessarily have to give up all of those qualities of independence and self-direction and volition. Well, he did say Endicott showers every day, which I don't think we need to give that up.
Yeah, it's a fun song.
A little repetitive.
Well, if you're in a dance club, you kind of want
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. If I had to listen to Marilyn Manson or him, I would choose him. For those of you who don't understand that reference, go back one episode and listen to the last episode.
Or we can play you a song.
Well, I could do that. Yeah. What song should we play?
Well, Speed of Pain. See if that's on there.
All right.
See if they have someone has the boot from San Francisco Cow Palace, Speed of Pain.
Speed of Pain. The boot.
Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn. I probably didn't spell that right. Okay. I see it here.
Oh, try the
Here's
live.
live at Hammerston Ballroom.
Yeah, try this one. See
That one?
Yeah, let's see if the sound quality is good.
It looks like an iPhone. It's gonna suck. What are we going for with the live that's not available in the recorded?
It's got more emotion in it.
Okay. All right, here we go. This one.
Yeah.
Sounds like Neil Young.
So let's compare it to a regular recording. This is hard to make out.
What?
Try playing one of the regular recordings because this is hard to make out.
They slit our throats like we were flowers, and our milk has been devoured. When you want it, goes away too fast. Times you hate it always seem to last. Just remember when you think you're free, the crack inside your fucking heart is me.
Wow, I feel so optimistic.
It goes with the black candles you have in the background.
They're green, but it's hard to tell at this distance with this poor lighting.
Is that the first Marilyn Manson song you've listened all the way through?
And the last.
Not if I can help it.
I've been reading about how to be funny, and I knew that was the funny thing to say. I was actually impressed with the way he took a lot of Neil Young's previous attempts at sonic things and incorporated them into his dark morass.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's,
Acoustic guitar and vocoder. No one's done that before. No, really, I shouldn't cap on Marilyn Manson. He's really carved out a really important spot for himself. He actually kind of recreated and reinvented a genre that, like, what it feels like to me, and I'm not really a fan, but Alice Cooper had a kind of flavor similar to this, and Marilyn Manson was the next generation of that flavor to me in terms of the evolution of it. And I consider myself enough. I like to think of myself as open-minded enough about art to see the value of something like that, where there's an iteration of it, even though it's not something I would probably put on and listen to myself, and try to respect the creativity of it. And there's a lot of pain in there, a lot of pain. Yeah. Oh, and that's the song, of course.
Yeah.
Does he have any happy songs?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, you'd think after he was acquitted of, felony sexual conduct.
Was he acquitted? I didn't realize that.
Wait. A federal court jury found in Manson's favor in a civil suit presented by Oakland County, Michigan. Manson was charged with sexual misconduct against another security officer during a concert in Clarkston, Michigan on July 30th.
Oh, that's okay. So there's a past lover who's brought legal actions against him. I believe. And
the one sort of thing that's a concern is Billboard magazine has a timeline of abuse allegations, which means there's more than one. Anytime there's a timeline of abuse allegations, it's a kind of a bad thing. But
well,
if someone were to look through my entire past, they definitely wouldn't find a timeline of past abuses. But that's not to say they wouldn't find something that I wouldn't want to have to answer to in the public sphere.
Right. And, sexual chaos is prevalent in, I guess, in artistry even, Picasso wasn't known to be a gent.
Well, and if we look back at what you and I consider to be a really potent and valuable part of musical history, the late 60s and early 70s, right, there was a lot of naked hippies, which would be considered, bad news. Like, you can't run around naked in modern American society. It's not acceptable. As much as we'd like to imagine that people don't fear the human form and that, but the truth is there are a lot more crime dramas showing death and murder than there are dramas about people finding out that someone has 2 or 3 breasts. Like, it's not how our society seems to work right now.
One or none.
Yeah.
That's the case of Tig.
Oh, that's right. Well, yeah. She's a brilliant comic, by the way.
Oh my God.
They are a brilliant comic. I'm not sure how they identify.
She identifies as a she.
I hear the emphasis in
your voice. That's me. Yeah, she is brilliant. God, she's so good. I aspire to bring that kind of joy and frivolity with such skill.
You're smart enough.
Yeah, well, brains only take you so far. That'll get you in
rest
the White
is-
House, but once you're there, the big White House on the hill. Uncle Tom's White House.
Wow. Aren't they all?
Pretty much. Yep, pretty much. Oh man, I saw this meme yesterday that said Burger King and I forget the other entity having a war about who's got the best Chick-fil-A when they're both owned by the same company is a perfect analogy of our politics.
Yes, absolutely.
So sad, so sad.
Yeah. Yeah. Blockchain to the rescue.
Blockchain?
Yeah.
What's that? Another Bitcoin thing?
Well, yeah, it's the underlying technology that makes Bitcoin work.
Blockchain to the rescue. The blockchain mentality. We are one. We are free. Everyone's going to be free, but they got to agree to be free. They got to agree to be less free than me because I rule the world, you see.
And if you don't get a vaccine, you can't be free.
If you don't get a vaccine, we will hunt you down and vaccinate you twice in 1 hour.
Yeah. There were two things that happened to me without my consent.
Birth and death.
No, no, I think I participated in birth. I'm not so sure about death yet. We'll see when I get there. Now I was talking about vaccination and circumcision.
Really? You got vaccinated without your consent?
When I was a little baby.
Oh, you mean like the
So did
baby?
you probably,
Yeah, sure did.
right?
Yeah. Got the scar to prove it.
Yeah. I don't know if you can still see mine.
Now I'm just old, so I just look like a scar. Yeah,
I know.
you can't see it. There it is, right there. For those of you listening, we are showing the visual scarration of our immunization.
Our left and right shoulder muscles.
Oh, really? You
Where
got
as
it in both?
children, we were injected with a multitude of vaccinations to protect ourselves and society for the betterment
Mine
of
were
all.
on the left. Mine
It was
were
the
all-
left?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what did my circumcision have anything to do with helping society? Other
Mom
than
wanted
the...
to leave a tip.
Yeah.
Good job, doctor.
I should have known that was coming.
Boom, boom.
We're definitely going to have to put the adult warning on this one.
We are that it's explicit. Like we actually are live now, technically, because I needed it live to do some things with Blueberry for podcasting.
But we haven't announced yet.
Yeah, we're not. It's a soft, very
Soft
soft,
opening.
soft and wet.
Well, we'd hope if we've prepped properly.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Proper prep gets the pussy wet. Wait a minute. Now we are explicit. You can't say pussy. You can't say wet pussy.
WAP.
Oh, should we play that song? Today seems to be a song.
Let me see if I got it.
Let's end with this. When this ends, we'll call it a day.
Okay.
We're gonna get, there it is. Oh, it's so good.
Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house.
I said certified free.
There's some
7 days a week.
there's some
Wet ass pussy. Make that pull out game weak. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you fucking with some wet ass pussy. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass pussy. Give me everything you got for this wet ass pussy. Beat it up, nigga, catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this pussy right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top, I wanna ride. I do a giggle, what is inside? Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This pussy is wet, come take a dive. Tie me up like I'm surprised. That's role play, I wear disguise. I want you to park that Big Mac truck right in this little garage. Make it cream, make me scream. Out in public, make a scene. I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you, I got this ring.
Gobble me, swallow me, drip down inside of me. Quick jump out for you, let it get inside of me. I tell them where to put it, never tell them where I'm about to be. I run down on them before I have a nigga running me. Talk your shit, bite your lip. Ask for a call while you ride that dick. You really ain't never got him fucking for a thing. He already made his mind up before he came. Now get your boots, hang your coat for this wet ass pussy. He bought a phone just for pictures of this wet ass pussy. Paid my tuition just to kiss me on this wet ass pussy. Now make it rain if you wanna see some wet ass pussy.
Look, I need a hard hit, I need a deep stroke, I need a Henny drink, I need a weed smoke. Not a garden snake, I need a king cobra with a hook in it, hope it lean over. He got some money, then that's where I'm headed. Pussy A1, just like his credit. He got a beard, well I'm tryna wet it. I let him taste it, now he diabetic. I don't wanna spit, I wanna go, I wanna gag, I wanna choke. I want you to touch that little dangly thing that's swinging the back of my throat. My head can misfire, Punani the sunny is going and drying, it's coming outside, yeah. I run on that thing, now the cuz behind me. I spit on his mic and I he tryna sign me.
Your Honor, I'm a freak bitch, handcuffs, leashes. Switch my wig, make him feel like he cheating. Put him on his knees, give him something to believe in. Never lost a fight, but I'm looking for a beat. In the food chain, I'm the one that eat you. If he ate my ass, he's a bottom feeder. Big D stand for big demeanor. I can make you bust before I ever meet you. If it don't hang, then he can't bang. You can't hurt my feelings, but I like pain. If he fuck me and ask who's is it when I ride the dick, I'ma spell my name.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you fucking with some wet ass pussy. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass pussy. Give me everything you got for this wet ass pussy. Now from the top, make it drop. That's some wet ass pussy. Now get a bucket and a mop. That's some wet ass pussy. I'm talking wop, wop, wop. That's some wet ass pussy. Macaroni in a pot. That's some wet ass pussy, huh?
There's some whores in this house. 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 There's some whores in this house.
Well, this episode's gonna get claimed for rights for sure.
Does that happen?
I think so.
Wow.
That's all right.
What'll that mean? It'll mean no one can watch it or listen to it?
Yeah, we'll probably have to pull it. Yeah.
Well, since no one's going to hear this anyway.
Fuck you.
And I mean that in the best possible term. I hope you find some really deep, wet, satisfying sexual energy for yourself, because God knows we deserve it. We all deserve it. The women, the men, the theys, everyone deserves it. It's God's gift. And for goodness sake,
Get some wet ass.
shame-filled about it.
Shame, shame, shame.
Now, on the other hand, we could edit out all that crap, but then it wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Tune in
Let's
next
just
week
let it
when we
ride.
review The Wizard of Oz compared to Deep Throat.
Follow the yellow brick road. That leaves something to the imagination right there.
Thank God it's leaving something to the imagination.
We are part of the lollipop game. The lollipop game. Are you a good bitch or a bad bitch? Dorothy, you had it in you all the time.
There's no place like home.
Amen.
Just watch out for those flying monkeys, man. You don't want to catch that.
All right, brother.
This was fun. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Yes, sir. Much love to you.
You too. Talk to you later.